Hello everyone, Michael Babcock here, also known as the Disney Dude. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content, and hit that thumbs up if you like the video. So, a couple things before I get to the news. First, yes, I did shave, so now I have no facial hair anymore. I decided that it was getting too hot for a beard, so I decided to shave it off. And my second thing is, I know I haven't done I didn't do any shows last week. I was way too busy. I worked a lot of hours at Publix. Most of them were nights, so obviously, getting off at 11, I can't, I live 15 minutes away, so by the time I get home and then set everything up, it's 11:30, and then by the time I record the news and everything, it's after midnight. So so I can't, I can't do that that late at night. It's just it's too cumbersome for me to do that. So I do apologize. I couldn't do any news last week. So this show is going to be a little long because obviously I missed a week. So now let's jump right into the news. All right, and let me tell you, there's going to be a couple rants. So just to forewarn you, okay? Now, without further ado, here is the news for Monday, April 28th of 2025. Spaceship Earth GO82 now has an opening date, which is June 4th of this year. Reservations are going to be open on May 6th. So, on May 6th, I would probably be the first ones in line to open up that app. I would open up that app, and as soon as I would assume it would open. I don't know. I mean, I assume. I don't know if it would be midnight or if it would be park open. I have no idea. Okay? But they're going to be opening on May 6th. Okay? I would have your app open and ready to go, because with this being an adult-only lounge, it's going to go fast. These reservations are going to go fast. Okay? So I would have your app open and at the ready. Okay? And also, you can also reserve firework viewing. So you can reserve a spot for Illuminations Reflections of Earth. So you can watch that over at the top of the lounge. So you can reserve a spot for the fireworks. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could do that. I mean, look, fireworks at Epcot are not as crazy as Magic Kingdom is. You don't need to get there 5 hours early to reserve a spot. I've walked up at 8:30 and gotten a spot right in front of the lagoon. So you don't, I guess if you want to, you can reserve a spot for fireworks viewing. I don't know. I think it would be a waste of money, because why would you need it? Why would you need to reserve firework viewing at Epcot? Okay? So but that's just me. You can you can do that if you want to, okay? But I mean, but fireworks at Epcot are nothing, not even close to the Magic Kingdom, okay? Or I would even, I mean, if you want to put Fantasmic in that category, you can. But I mean, you know, Fantasmic is, you know, a full-on, you know, live production. Luminous is not. It's just, you know, it's you know, water fountains and fireworks. But I mean, I mean, if they're gonna make you pay for fireworks viewing, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. But I don't know. I mean, if any of you out there do that, if any of you do the reservations for firework viewing, let me know how that goes. Let me know how that goes. But I mean, I don't see why you would need to, unless it's, you know, of course, unless it's like Christmas time or Thanksgiving, okay? But I don't know. I really have no idea. So if any of you folks out there do that, if you reserve the fireworks viewing spot, let me know how that goes. Let me know how that goes, because I'm curious. I'm curious. I mean, if it is at the lounge, you obviously would have, you know, no big crowds or anything, but I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know. I really have no idea. So if any of you out there do if any of you out there do this, please let me know in the comments, because I'm interested. I'm interested to know what that would entail. Okay. All right, here we go. The first rant of this show, okay? A woman is suing Disney for $2 million after being struck by mammoth wave at Typhoon Lagoon. She was injured this month, but she was injured in April of 2022. She claimed the wave drug her and her 3-year-old daughter underwater, and she ended up skidding across the cement and caused serious road rash and scrapes. So, obviously, you know, reports like this take a long time to come out, which is why I'm reporting on it now. I want to talk about this. Because I think this is outrageous. This is outrageous, okay? Disney has no control of the water. They have no control over what the water is going to do. Okay? If you get struck by a mammoth wave, you know, that's not Disney's fault. That is not Disney's fault. And there is no way in hell that you would ask for $2 million after being struck by this wave. All right? That is outrageous. That is totally asinine. Okay? And her lawyer said that he, you know, came out with her and said that, you know, she's got a good, you know, solid case. I said, against what? Against what? Okay? You're trying to sue water. You are trying to sue water. Okay? Which, it happens to be Disney's water, but you're suing water. I mean, that is outrageous. That is outrageous. That is the most stupidest thing I have ever heard in my life. All right? If I were a lawyer, or even if I were a judge and I heard this case, I'd be like, are you serious? You're seriously going to waste my time telling me about this stupid story. okay? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here, but this just seems totally outrageous. This just seems totally outrageous. You're asking for $2 million because you were struck by a wave. Alright? Disney does not control the waves. Okay? They don't control they don't control the water. Okay? And I'm gonna give you a scenario. So a couple years ago, we went to Myrtle Beach, okay? And we're all at the ocean, and we're enjoying the day and everything, and we're pretty far out, okay? We're pretty far, out to sea. Not like, all the way out, but we're pretty far. Good distance from the beach, okay? All of a sudden, there comes a riptide, okay? And this thing was strong, and I mean strong. And I'm a pretty good swimmer, but I don't, when it comes to, fighting against water and the waves, there's no way. There is no way. So I kept getting pulled into the ocean. Every time that I would try to, make a little headway, I would get sucked back. Okay? There is no way that I would sue the Myrtle Beach, whoever runs that beach. There is no way I would sue that beach. I mean, that would be like, I got caught in a riptide at your beach, so I'm suing you for $1 million. That is the most outrageous thing I ever heard. That just sounds totally. If that sounds totally asinine to you, then this should sound asinine to you as well. Okay, this is outrageous. This is outrageous. I don't understand. I don't know how she thinks she can get away with it, but if Disney does pay this, I'm going to be really shocked. I'm going to be really shocked at this. Okay, but come on now. I mean, you're going to a water park. You are going to a water park. You know what's going to happen. Okay? You know what's going to happen. Okay? Just like, me going to the beach. I know, I don't want to think about it, but, there's a good chance that, I could die. Okay? There's a good chance that I could be pulled out to sea. I could get eaten by a shark. I could get, stung by a jellyfish. I could have, anything. Okay? But there would be no way that I would sue the beach for that. Or my mother would sue the beach. Okay? So, for this woman to sue Disney because she got caught in a wave, is absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. And if this case does go to court, I hope that the judge throws the book at her. I hope he says, "Are you serious?" I hope he or she says, "Are you serious? You're seriously wasting my time telling me that you got pulled in by a wave. Okay, that you got struck by a monstrous wave. Okay? Totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Okay? Let me know in the comments how you feel. But until I hear the full story, I don't have any sympathy for this woman. I really don't. Okay? Alright, our next story is a rumor. There's a rumor going around that Disney Starlight Nighttime Parade may or may not be debuting in July at the Magic Kingdom. So we have heard whispers. We don't know. We don't know that yet. That is not, don't take our word for it on that. That is just a rumor. So Disney hasn't come out and said anything, but we have heard July. Okay, that could mean something, that could not. Okay, don't take this at face value until you hear something concrete from Disney. Okay. All right. The next story is the family restrooms in the Canada Pavilion at Epcot have finally reopened after 5 years of closure. So I want to talk about this. I don't know the extent of this refurb, but why has it taken 5 years to reopen a restroom? It's been 5 years. Now, granted, Disney was closed for a good part of 2020 because that's when the restrooms closed with the rest of the park. But are you kidding me? You are kidding me. 5 years. 5 years later, and now you're reopening the bathrooms. Does that sound stupid to you or what? Okay? That's come on, Disney. I mean, you're serious? After 5 years, you're finally reopening these bathrooms. Okay? Let me know in the comments how you feel. But come on. 5 years. 5 years. After they closed, you're reopening the bathrooms. All right. Here's another one. Ghostly Dog Bench returns to Memento Mori after 5 years of it being missing, and tarp is removed from the Haunted Mansion queue at the Magic Kingdom. So I'm not ranting about the second half of this story, okay? So I'm not ranting about the tarp. I'm going to rant about the bench. Again, why are we missing things that have been... Why are we now getting things back that have been missing for 5 years? For 5 years. All right? Why? Why in God's name are we getting things back that have been gone for years? This is a bench. This is a bench. All right? These are bathrooms. Why are they reopening after so long? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. All right? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why Disney is now getting so slow at doing stuff, but come on. Come on, people. These projects have been in the making for 5 years. For 5 years. It doesn't even take them that long to do an animated movie. All right? It doesn't even take them that long to do an animated movie. An animated movie usually takes about 3 to 4 years. All right? These projects took 5. Go figure. Go figure. But that's... Come on. Come on now. That's outrageous. New test track signs have been installed, and more concrete is now complete in Epcot. If you take the monorail from the Magic Kingdom, and when it takes you around World Showcase, or when it takes you around World Celebration, you get to see inside of the test track construction, but you get to see behind the construction walls. Okay, so they're coming along on this thing. They're coming along on this thing. So we're, it's getting ready to open this summer. So you know, so you know, we don't have a date for that yet, but hopefully sometime in the not so distant future, we'll get the new test track. Disney's Hollywood Studios extends operating hours for May 4th, which is Star Wars Day. The park will be open from 8:30 to 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Fantasmic will perform at 9 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. And the Wonderful World of Animation will perform at 9 p.m. as well. All annual pass holder reservations are gone. No more park reservations for us annual pass holders. The only way that you could go, if you didn't get a reservation, you could go to any of the other parks and then park hop to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Okay, but the regular park reservations are gone. They are all gone. Which, we know this is, we knew this would happen. It happens every year. So it's really no news, no really big news there. All right. A Georgia man was arrested for strangling his daughter at Walt Disney World. So I don't want to talk about this story. I really don't. I've ranted enough. If you want to check out this story, go online, go to social media. You can read the story. I'm not talking about it. I'm done ranting. I've ranted about guest behaviors before, many times. So I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this story. Okay, I'm not talking about it. But you can go online and check it out. Read the full story for yourself. Make the judgments for yourself. Okay. But I don't want to do I don't want to do another bad story. Really don't. Okay. All right. Kite Tails dock pylons have been completely removed at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So I don't know why. I don't know why it took them so long to get rid of these, but the last remnants of Kite Tails gone. Look, I know that show wasn't well received. I know that show a lot of people didn't like. Look, I really liked the Jungle Book version of it. Okay, the Lion King one, it was okay. It was good until they brought Festival of the Lion King back, and then I was like, okay, do we really need to have two Lion King shows here, especially when Festival of the Lion King is so much better than the Kite Tails version was? Okay, but I really liked the Jungle Book version. I really liked that version. That soundtrack, it works all the time. You really can't go wrong with the Jungle Book. So I was glad that they brought Jungle Book back into Animal Kingdom. For those of you that don't know, so where Finding Nemo, the Big Blue and Beyond is today, that's where Journey into the Jungle Book was. Okay, that was the first show to occupy that space. The roof of the building was not there. They had a totally different theater It was an outdoor theater. It was like in the same vein as Beauty and the Beast live on stage, where the performers the performers were covered with everything, but the audience. I can't really put that because Beauty and the Beast is covered, but it was, but the performers were covered under the awnings and stuff. The audience was not. The audience was not. The audience was completely outside. And then after Journey into the Jungle Book closed, then they replaced it with Tarzan Rocks, which again they kept uncovered. And then when Finding Nemo the musical opened, that's when they decided to seal off the building. That's when they decided to make it a completely indoor theater. Okay? And then when Finding Nemo, when they brought the show back, the revamped version, Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond, obviously it's the same theater, so they didn't change anything. It's the same theater as Finding Nemo the musical. But for those of you that don't know, that theater used to be outside. It used to be semi-outside. Okay? But I really liked that they brought back the Jungle Book into that park, because obviously it fits into the park. So I was really happy that they brought something back with the Jungle Book. I'm really sad that they're not doing anything more with the Jungle Book, because that movie is so iconic, and so it's such a great movie. The animated movie. The live action movie is great too, but the animation, the animated movie. That movie is, so iconic and so legendary that, they really should have a Jungle Book Broadway. I really shouldn't say Broadway, but a Jungle Book style show at Disney's Animal Kingdom. I really think that they should have kept that. They should have kept some kind of Jungle Book show at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Okay, so I was glad when Kite Tales premiered with the Jungle Book, because I was like, oh great, they're bringing back the Jungle Book. Okay, the Lion King, that's a different story, but I really liked the Jungle Book version of Kite Tales. And then when they took that away, I was like, okay, I liked it. I liked that version. I know a lot of people didn't like Kite Tales, but I really liked the Jungle Book version of that show. I really did, okay? Alright. A Mother's Day photo op is now available at Disney Springs. So, anytime right now, you can take your mother to Disney Springs and get a nice photo with her. Okay, and you can do that now until I would presume until after Mother's Day ends. So I would assume Sunday on Mother's Day would be the last day for it. So, you can take Mom and get a nice picture with her, which is something I want to try to do. I don't know if I'm going to, but I want to try to get a photo with my mother at this photo op. So we'll have to see how that goes. But but it is there. It is there. All right, here's another wild story. So a guest was caught sneaking a wallet of cocaine into the Magic Kingdom. Again, I'm not going to rant anymore. I've done enough rants already, but I don't know why people think that they can do this stuff and get away with it. I just don't. I have no idea. It just escapes my mind. So, okay, but I mean, I hope people know by now that firearms, drugs, knives, any dangerous items like that are not permitted in the theme parks. Okay? So it just always surprises me when people try to sneak stuff like this in. Okay? So, folks, please pay attention to the rules. Okay? Please pay attention to the rules. Okay? A new Coca-Cola Ice Cold Hydraulics mural is now complete at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I have seen that mural. I really like that mural. It really fits into the aesthetic of Hollywood. So, when Disney wants to, they can theme Hollywood Studios. When they want to, they can theme it. And when they want to theme it, it usually works. But I just don't know why they don't theme everything about Hollywood Studios. I just don't. But when they do theme something to Hollywood Studios, it works. It really, really works. So I really like this mural. I really, really do. I really think it fits into the whole aesthetic of, the golden age of Hollywood and the American way of life. And of course, when you think of that, you think, a couple things come to mind. Coca-Cola is one of those things. Classic American beverage. Okay? So, I really like this mural. Okay? I don't know what's going to happen to this area after they get rid of Muppet Vision 3D, because, this area is Grand Avenue, which is, a part of Hollywood. So, I would like to assume that the hydraulic Coca-Cola, the building is going to stay there, hopefully. So, I would hate to think that Disney would spend all this money building this building, and then, and spending the money with the mural, and then wanting to tear it down to make way for Monstropolis. Okay? So I really hope that they don't get rid of it. But I really think it's a really cool addition to Disney's Hollywood Studios. So, and when I go back, I'm going to go check it out. Alright. Scrim has been removed, and concrete work is complete on Keystone Clothier's facade at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So, this is going to be my last rant. You guys know, this is, I just don't understand why Disney takes so long to fix these damn things. I just don't. I have no idea why. Okay? It took them, a couple years to fix this. I mean, hello? Does none of this cross anyone's mind or what? So, I mean, again, I think it's outrageous that it took this long. On the other hand, I'm glad that they finally got this thing fixed. But you can check that out at Disney's Hollywood Studios as well and see what they've repaired. But finally, after all of these years, they have fixed it. So now I guess they're on a fixing kick for some reason, okay? And our last story is refurbished Adventureland and Frontierland sign returns to Magic Kingdom after a short refurbishment. So if you come from if you're coming from Pirates of the Caribbean, if you're walking this way, the sign says Frontierland on one side, and if you come from Tiana's Bayou Adventure, you see the words Adventureland on the other side. So they have repainted this sign so it looks nice and fresh and ready to go. So I'm glad that refurbishment didn't take a long time to do. But most guests aren't going to notice it, But at least that they have refurbished this sign. All right. But there you are. There are your stories. Again, I apologize that I was off for a week. I just did not have the time to do any news for you. So I try not to let stuff like this happen. Unfortunately, it's going to happen from time to time. So, but now I can get back on track. So I will see you back here unless something drastic happens. I will see you right back here on Wednesday for the next news day. Okay, and then I will record in advance my next episode for my new show, which is called More Disney. All right. So I thank you guys very much for watching this video. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Again, I'm sorry that I had to take a week off. Just time was not with me. All right. So, but thank you guys very much for watching. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon, evening, morning. You guys keep each other safe and healthy, and we will see you real soon.